Hello everyone, this is Muskan Bahura and we are Group 6. So we are presenting about the company Air Canada, its organizational behavior and leadership before and after COVID-19. First of all, I want to ask something. If I ask you to think about a time when your workplace suddenly had to change how it operated, what was the biggest challenge your team faced during that transition? Of course, the answer would be resistance to new routines. Now, let's see how it is. Air Canada is Canada's largest and primary airlines since 1937. Felt this effect big time. They connect a lot of domestic and international locations, and it provides employment to the tons of employees. Before pandemic, Air Canada mainly focused on efficiency, teamwork, and top-notch services. Then came COVID-19 and everything has changed. Air Canada had to cut staff and the work had to switch in remote. Customer expectation also evolved during this uncertain period. Consequently, Air Canada underwent significant overhaul in its organizational structure and employee management practices. Methodology. For this presentation, we have used the secondary research. We reviewed Air Canada annual reports, company information, and COVID-related updates. We also connected our research with organizational behavior theories. This includes motivation theory, team development, organizational change management, and leadership. This method helped us compare Air Canada before and after COVID in a clear and organized way.
This slide shows Air Canada's major organizational shift. Before COVID, the company focused on efficiency, stability, and routine. After the COVID, Air Canada focused more on safety, agility, and digital tools. This change affected employees, teams, and leaders. Air Canada had to move from normal operation to crisis response and recovery. The main shift operational efficiency to agile resilience. Before the COVID, employees work in predictable and routine-based rules. They follow the fixed schedules and clear responsibility. After the COVID, employees face stress, job insecurity, health concerns, and changing duties. Many employees had to adopt new technology and safety rules. Their behavior changed from routine-based work to flexible and adaptive work. This shows how crisis can strongly affect employees' attitudes and behaviors. This slide connects to a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Before COVID, employees could focus on performance, teamwork, and career growth. During the COVID, basic needs become more important. Employees were worried about health, job securities, income, and safety. Motivational shift from higher level need to basic survival and security need. This is why leadership support became very important during the pandemic. Before COVID, Air Canada teams work closely together in person. Pilots, flight attendant, group staff, and customer service team depended on strong coordination. COVID interrupted normal teamwork, layoffs, reduced flights, remote work, and changing safety rules affected communications. Teams had to rebuild trust and coordination. This showed that teamwork become more difficult during uncertainty.
Now I'm going to explain about Tuckman model. Before COVID-19, Air Canada teams work very well together because everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. During COVID-19, many changes happened such as new safety rules and changing work schedule. Because of these teams had to adjust and learn how to work together again. This shows that a crisis can affect teamwork and performance. So, I'm going to explain about organizational culture. During the pandemic, Air Canada's workplace culture was changed because we could see changes like wearing safety masks, using digital check ins, and following safety procedures. The companies also started focusing on safety, flexibility, and being prepared for unexpected situations. These changes become an important part of Air Canada's workplace culture. Changing management. This slide explains how Air Canada's managed change during the pandemic. First, COVID-19 disrupted normal operations. Then, the company introduced new safety rules like digital services and cost saving strategies. Finally, these changes become a regular part of how the company operates today. These help Air Canada recover and continue service customers. So micro level leadership before COVID-19, managers mainly focused on daily work and performance of their employees. During the pandemic, employee faced stress and uncertainty, so leader had to provide more support and and communication also. They listened to employees' concern and help them to adapt new changes. This made leadership more supportive and people focused.
These slides focus on macro-level leadership, which means leadership at the organizational and strategic level. Before COVID-19, Air Canada's leadership was more metric-driven. The focus was most only probability, fleet planning, international expansion, and performance management. During and after COVID-19, the situation changed. Air Canada faced travel restriction, financial pressure, reduced flight, and safety concern. Because of this, leaders had to shift from only focusing on numbers to a more human-centric leadership approach. Employee and customers need confidence, safety, and clear communication. So the main point is that Air Canada's leaders had to balance short-term survival with long-term recovery. Now we have a quick class poll. Which leadership shift matter most at Air Canada? The options are trans transactional to transformer, top-down leadership to psychological safety, strategic driven to human-centric, and all of above. Our answer is D. All of above are interconnected. This is because during COVID-19, Air Canada need clear direction, quick decision making, employee support, psychological safety, and flexible communication. So successful leadership requires a combination of all these approaches. This slide summarizes Air Canada's transformation after COVID-19. The image shows three levels: micro, meso, and macro. At the micro level, individual employee needs psychological safety and safety-focused behavior. At the meso level, teams need better coordination, trust, collaboration, and communication. At the macro level, leaders need to guide the organization through uncertainty and support employees. Together, these three levels create agile resilience, which means Air Canada become more adaptable and stronger during crisis situations. The key message is that Air Canada's future success depends on us staying flexible, people focused, and resilient.
Recommendation for individuals and teams. And my first concern is recommendation is to support employees and teams. Air Canada should continue focusing on employees well-being. The company should provide clear communications during uncertain situations. Leaders should offer regular updates, trainings, feedbacks, and the employees should feel psychologically safe to ask questions and share concerns. Teams should receive crisis readiness training and better digital collaborations tools. This will help employees and teams respond faster in future and desperation. So this slide will present amending long-term culture. Our second recommendation is to build reliances into uh, Air Canada long-term culture. Reliances should not only be used during crisis. Air Canada should continue digital transforming and flexible workforce planning. Leaders should encourage employees to speak up and solve problems. The company should make continuous learning part of its culture. This will help Air Canada prepare for future challenges and remain competitive.
Conclusion is like in COVID-19 changed Air Canada in many important ways. Before COVID, the company focused mainly on efficiency and stable organization. After COVID, Air Canada has become more allied, digital, and employed focused. Individual behavior changed because employees faced stress, uncertainty, new safety needed. Teams dynamics changed because communication and coordination was dispirited. Leadership changed because leaders has to become more supportive, flexible, strategic. The main lesson is that Reliance is not just an important efficiency. Air Canada's future success depends on people, teamwork, leadership, and adaptability. These are the references used in our presentations, including Air Canada's official websites, reports, and other reliable sources. Thank you for your attention.